Hi everyone, Linn Holdhusen with the Holdhusen Real Estate Group at Keller Williams, Portland Central. It's dark in the office because everybody else has gone home, and I wanted to make sure I got this video out to you guys before I left. I didn't want to turn the lights back on. So here we go. I'm talking to you guys today about step 3 for how to get top dollar for your home. But before I do, I just want to say I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you got to eat lots of food and hang out with friends and family and get some time off. So step 1 was to clean the house. Step 2 was to declutter. I want to make a quick note to say that this counts for both the inside and the outside of the house. The outside of the house should be clean. Everything in the yard should be straight, manicured, all the trees trimmed, all of that, so that it just looks as nice as it possibly can. It's got a lot of curb appeal. It's going to make people want to come into the house and take a look at what's inside. So moving on to step 3. Step 3 is going to be repairs. So when you get under contract with a buyer, they're going to bring an inspector through, and the inspector is going to kind of go through the house with a fine-tooth comb and look at all the major systems of the house, the construction of the house, and then things that are just readily apparent, like an outlet that's been painted over, or a board on the floor has popped up, or there's a hole in the carpet, or any of that kind of stuff. He's just going to make mention of, he's going to take a look at the whole house, make a report of the things that need repaired, and then just the things that they looked at that maybe don't need repaired, and what the status is at that point in time. So as a seller, you can prepare for this by doing some of these things before you even go on the market. So there are some things that you're just not going to know about, like your sewer, for instance. Most sellers are not having their sewer scoped on a regular because their toilet flushes and they don't really think about what happens after that. And if everything's working right and there's no problems that are coming up, so to speak, then it's not something that they're probably even aware of if they've got a broken sewer line, or say maybe they need radon mitigation, and they would have no way of knowing that too unless they had had their radon tested, which most people just don't do unless they're buying or selling a home. Maybe there's an oil tank in the backyard. These are all big repairs, and these are all the things that are somewhat non-negotiable for sellers and that they're probably not going to know about until they actually get under contract and they're selling their house. So we don't worry about those things so much, but if they are things that come up, we usually tell sellers that the non-negotiables in most real estate transactions are the sewer, the radon, and the oil tank, because they come into health and safety items, and also because oil tank can be sort of unpredictable and we don't really know, there's no standard cost for those. They can range from anywhere from $1,500 for a decommission to tens of thousands of dollars, so depending on the level of contamination. So there's really no way for us to know about that. But buyers are definitely going to want it. And so there's sort of a litmus test that we always talk with our sellers about is this something that any willing buyer is going to ask for? So health, safety, and structural items, most buyers are going to ask for those things because they want to move into a home that they know is safe. There's no health concerns to the house like mold or things like that. And structurally, it is well put together. So the things that are going to come up and that you are aware of as a seller, it's good to fix those because it tells the story to the buyer that you've always maintained the home. When things needed repaired, you took care of it. And so overall, it's just telling the story to someone, your potential buyer, who has not lived in that house or known anything about it, that everything seems good, so most likely it probably is good. Those other items that we were talking about, sewer, radon, and oil tanks, like I said, most sellers aren't going to know about those, and there's something that buyers are going to investigate regardless, so you're going to find out. But the things that you can have some control over, I would definitely take care of those because, once again, it's going to tell the right story to the buyer, and it's also just going to set a good tone for the negotiations that may happen during that inspection period. A lot of times when sellers take care of their houses and there isn't a lot to mention in an inspection report, as a listing agent, we won't even receive a buyer's repair addendum because the buyers just aren't going to ask for anything because none of those major boxes of health, safety, or structure were checked off. So it's just good to be out in front of it and tell the right story about your home when someone honestly can't know much about it other than what you're telling them. So step 3 is going to be to do your repairs. Now this counts once again for both inside and outside. If your house needs paint, if it needs a new roof, if it has dry rot in the trim, or anything like that. These are some of the more common things that we see. Take care of them. It's going to be much cheaper and easier for you to handle these things when you have the time to get bids and to find the right people to do the work versus being under contract for your house and having a 10-day inspection period and then having it basically like, you know, somewhat dictated to you that these are the things that have to happen or the house isn't going to sell. So I can see by my clock I'm at 5 minutes right now. I must be rambling on. I hope this was good info for you guys. If anybody has any questions, as always, please call me, text me, email me. And if there's anything you need in the future, you just let us know. Hope everybody has a good Tuesday. Take care. Talk soon.